Hello, ladies and testicles. Welcome to my very first video game review. Holy crap, we're here. Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. So as a huge fan of Binding of Isaac, for many, many years, I am just so thrilled to be able to do my first review from Edmund McMillen, the developer and creator of Binding of Isaac, and Super Meat Boy, and End is Nigh, and also, obviously, The Legend of Bumbo. Also, as a side note, if you've not played Binding of Isaac, go out and buy it now. It's a travesty that you haven't bought it yet and played it. Buy the complete edition, you will not be sorry. You're welcome. Just as an FYI, there will be a spoiler section right after my final ranking out of 10. It will feature the final boss fight and the end credit scene, since it directly relates to another game, which you probably guessed. So, after 6 days of playing this game for a total of 18 hours of gameplay, after finally completing the game on normal difficulty after 18 hours, I give you my review. Enjoy.
Bumble have trash, Bumble have coin, life good. Bumble happy. Bumble happy. Bumble happy.
Hello?
So, what do I think of The Legend of Bumbo? I have mixed feelings on this game. Mostly positive. I do have some gripes. Let's start with the pros. Start with the positives. The performance of the game, flawless. No issues with frames, consistent FPSs, no hard crashes. Yeah, I mean, no issues other than one of the big issues with the performance is the soft locks, which I'll show in a clip right about here. And so what that means is that a soft lock, the game is locked, but you can see that it's still running. Whereas like a hard lock or a hard crash, it would just completely crash the game and boot you out. So this altered my timeline for this review because I tried to finish the game before reviewing it, and right here at this guy that I'm showing on screen, it would just sit there before I could finish the game. And this happened like 4 or 5 times. It was not fun. Eventually it did get patched out, which is great. So take it or leave it. Graphics, I mean, the graphics are fucking adorable. Look at this. Cardboard cutouts in the style of Binding of Isaac artwork with a few unique touches to this game. It's great. This is totally subjective, so take it however you want, but I just found it fucking adorable, and I loved it. It was like the entire game felt like I was playing as a kid with a wild imagination in his room. The designs for, like, you know, the enemies and the cardboard cutouts are all simple, but you know, I give the leeway to the the small handful of game devs working with Edmund McMillen, which is the developer of this game. But simple is not a negative. They clearly had a vision. They fucking ran with it, and it works. It's charming as shit. Speaking of graphics, at launch, the max resolution you could set your game at was 1080p resolution, which on my 1440p monitor stretched it a bit, which is not great. But 2 patches later, that was fixed, and they added in 2560 by 1440p and also 4K support. So that's been nailed down. Sound design, sound has been the biggest gripe for me, and I will show you why in a little bit. Besides the launch day bug that cut out the sound for a portion of the game, other than that, technically the sound is fine on a technical level. But oh my god, guys, the music in this game before a patch came through which added a volume toggle where you can mute the music, for the first 5 days of this game's launch I had to play this music that I will show in a second on a loop. Oh my god, the sound, the music is on a loop! Kill me! When you have to mute the entire game because there's not a toggle, Not a great sign. The sound design in this game is not great. That's what I'm trying to get at. But they did finally add in a toggle for the music, which I understandably mute because it's still bad. I mean, they added in a patch for that toggle, but it's still just that single clip, a single sound clip going over and over and over. Yeah, pretty bad.
Are we in? Hello? Oh, thank Christ. I am so sorry it took me this long to hack this terribly boring review. This guy's voice puts me to fucking sleep. And wow, that microphone is terrible. Oh, you're asking who I am? Well, that's confidential. Just call me by my code name, Derek, the Corrupted Tarkus. I am here to save you from this terrible reviewer. Tell you what, I'm going to hack this douche's script and shove it through a text-to-speech translator. Maybe one with an accent, for spice. That will be more entertaining than this fucking cuck. Here you go. Enjoy. Tarkus out.
The mechanics and gameplay loop for this game are surprisingly captivating and tough as nails sometimes. So when you pick your version of Bumbo, each one has a starting spell, which are usually a damage-dealing attack of some sort. Each spell on the right-hand side of the screen requires different combinations of either bones, dung, green bogers, black teeth, and I think yellow tears. And your total for each are at the top. The way you acquire these materials is by lining up similar materials in a row or column of 4 or more, as you'll see throughout the footage. My friend said it looks kind of like Candy Crush, and he's not wrong, but there's a whole strategy and survival mechanic within this that separates it from garbage games like Candy Crush. The strategy of this game is juggling between the number of moves you have left, whether the enemy is in an attack position, where the materials are on your board, and what exact materials you need to make your spell moves, and also watching your hearts at the top left of the screen and making sure you don't die. Juggling all this seems daunting, but it's really not, because this game does a great job of teaching you the basics and throwing you into the fray, and as you keep playing you start to recognize your own flow to battle. This is a very strategy-heavy game, so if that's not your thing at all, then this is probably not the game for you. That, coupled with the randomization of items you get to choose from after you complete a room, is just amazing design. The molding of strategy with the RNG randomization of a roguelike is great in this game, and it's honestly why the replayability of this game is hours and hours long. With all the launch issues, the developers have been giving updates and patches like every 3 days, so I applaud him for that. Coming right off the heels of Binding of Isaac's huge reception, this was definitely a great addition to that world and franchise. I cannot wait to see what they add to this game next, and I hope you dive in as well, because at $15 this game is completely worth it. So as my first review, I believe I will follow in the guidelines of my favorite video game reviewer, Angry Joe, and give a score system out of 10 points, where a 1 is utter trash, 5 is an average game, and a 10 is a legendary game that should be held on a pedestal in the video game heavens. So I will give this game a 7.5 out of 10. It lost most of the points in the sound design and music choices, but I highly recommend it to anyone who loves the Isaac world and story, and also to anyone who enjoys strategy games mixed with roguelikes. Please support these guys. So right now I will play a clip of the final boss and end credits cutscene. If you don't want to be spoiled, please close out now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring a ding my dong. I like it when you do that. Oh no, I am a YouTube shill now.
and with an extra hard bash, Bumbo crushed that dead boy to mush. Finally, Bumbo happy. Now Bumbo can be alone with Coin. But Bumbo hears something mean, something huge, something.
Isaac, who were you talking to? Where did you get that stuff? I thought I threw it out. He left us, Isaac. He's gone. He never loved us. Don't you get it?
No, Mama, please.
Isaac, listen to me. It's just us now. It's just us now, Isaac. You and Mama